Welcome to the Parkland Report. I'm Stephanie Stewart, Vice President for Communications and External Affairs here at Parkland College, and this is the show where we talk to all the people making things happen here at Parkland College. Today, we have the pleasure of being joined by two of our Student Services Deans who have an exciting new project for incoming students, and so we'll welcome Dean Kristen Smigielski and Dean Dr. Marietta Turner to the show. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So could each of you introduce yourselves and just share a little bit about what your role is here at Parkland?
Well, my role here as Dean of Students is one in which I work with several departments, including student life and athletics. I also am considered the Chief Administrator for Conduct as designee for the Vice President for Student Services. And I like to say that I love to connect students for advocacy. That is one of the roles that I really enjoy doing. And I work with our Title IX as the Title IX Deputy Coordinator for all students.
Very, very good. Very important roles here at the college.
Try to help.
Kristen, what's your role here?
Sure. I'm the Dean of Enrollment Management, so I oversee admissions and records, financial aid, as well as our assessment center for all your placement testing needs. So really the starting point for all things enrollment, getting students in the door, but also helping current students keep going and re-enroll and register.
That's great. So we're welcoming students in, and then we're advocating and supporting them once they make it. I love the connectivity there.
Absolutely.
So today, one of the things I know that we're going to talk about is a new way to orient students to Parkland. So Marietta, can you tell us a little bit about this project, and then maybe Kristen add on from that admissions lens?
Sure. The idea of orienting students is part of the first year experience, and the research shows that students who have orientation are more likely to be retained for longer periods of time past their first year. And so we have had orientation since 2008 move from a in-person one to an online one. We did for a long time about 100 sessions a summer.
Oh my goodness.
It was very labor intensive, but we also found that a lot of times students were saying, I'm too busy, I don't have time for this, I can't do this, and we didn't want to create barriers. So we came up with a plan that was across the college campus-wide initiative to take our orientation online to enable students to basically do it even if they're sitting in the break room at work.
I love that, meeting them
Right
where they are in their circumstances.
Yeah.
That's great.
So the online orientation was started, but then COVID hit.
That's right.
And
Yes. I feel like that's a common theme on the show is pre and post that five-letter
made us
word.
do it, right?
COVID made us do it. And so what we put up was a lot of all of us sitting at our homes taking pictures, and we had to get something up for students to be able to enroll. And so our last initiative over the past 2 years has been moving to redo this with the help of marketing so that it's a more polished effort and more in-depth to be able to help students address onboarding things like, how do I use my learning management system, COBRA? How do I get my credentials so I can log in? Plus more information about resources. So we're really excited with the update.
Very good. Kristen, from your lens, how is this helping to welcome students into Parkland?
Yeah, so we wanted to make videos interesting, short and sweet, to the point, but at least get the information across. So we feel like, by offering these videos, and students can watch them 24/7 when it's convenient for them, will help them learn and engage at the best time of day for them, where they'll actually remember the information, and something will strike a chord that they'll remember they saw that. Maybe they won't remember all of the information, but know enough that they can go back into it even once a student to rewatch the video. So we just feel like it's going to be a more engaging way to get students acclimated to campus, whether they're familiar with Parkland or not, at least to give them those tools. And it's conveniently located in Connect, so the student portal, so something that students should be familiar with going to and accessing. So we've put it top of mind there for them, and again, it's just going to be more interesting way to talk about all of our great resources at Parkland.
And once they access and go through it, they get to access it whenever they want for the duration of their enrollment at Parkland.
That's wonderful. So how many of these videos have you all created? I've heard rumors that there are quite a few of them on different topics. So how many are there? And yeah, tell me a little bit about what students can expect.
I think so far we have about 25 or so, maybe individual videos. There are plans to keep going, based on what kind of probably questions that we get. And when we see how it all fits together, I think we'll figure out if there are gaps and holes for opportunities for other videos. But for now, I think that's a great starting point. As Dean Turner said, yeah, in the beginning we had like 5 videos all recorded in people's kitchens and living rooms. So we've come a long way since then. We're really excited about the work that's been done. But that's really the thing that needs to happen, is to start. Because the videos just were delivered to us a couple weeks ago, to fit it all together and see how it fits together from the student perspective and experience. So,
Very good.
And once we finish getting all of those modules up, we're actually going to translate them into French and Spanish.
Great. Yeah, that's
so
wonderful.
that we can make sure that we're getting to as many people as possible out in the community.
Yeah. One of the things I've noticed is that the world is so much more visual now.
Yes.
And if you want to know something, you look it up on YouTube. So the video format just seems to make a lot of sense, because that's how people are investigating, learning, all of those sorts of things for new content that they may be exploring. So Parkland is no different in that way.
and with the technology, that's exactly what the technology videos are all about. So it's the whole notion that you might have, how to register up on your screen while watching the video, pausing it, taking action, and then continuing. So that's the way I think we learn these days. So we're rolling with it.
Yeah, that's great. So you said it's on the Connect student portal. Will students need to have a login to do this, or can they just go straight to the videos, or how does that work?
They have to have their Parkland credentials.
Okay.
And we have a video to help students, showing a student how to create their Parkland credentials so that they can access it.
Great. And what are some of the incentives? I know that putting it out there and different used to be a different process for when students do orientation in the enrollment process. So I know we were talking about some carrots, Dean Turner, about to get students engaged in those, because there are maybe some rewards on the other side.
Right. One of the ideas is we have only looked at this as online orientation, but we're thinking that we'll start this summer. Once students who have completed the online portion, people will be invited to come to campus for on-campus orientation visits, where they'll get to hang out with other students, tours of the campus, visit resource areas such as the Learning Commons, the bookstore, etc. And we also are talking about having a family event. And one of the things that we have learned from our previous experiences with orientation is orientation should be open to students with their family. We want the whole family to feel that they can come, so that when the students come, they will be taken off for their tours, and then the families will have their own tour, and we will help them to understand the resources and support them. And at the end of the summer, we want to have a family night, maybe a movie night, and all the families can come out.
That's wonderful. And you mentioned a little bit of the research on student success. And so can you share a little bit more about why it's so important for students to be aware and actually engage in the campus through that orientation?
Student engagement theory points to a student feeling the idea that I'm wanted here, and that it's inclusive and it's a welcoming campus. There's the terminology and research that talks about a warm environment campus. And so Parkland is indeed a warm environment, very supportive. We've got tons of resources, and we want students to understand that we are trying our best to advocate for them, support them, and wrap around them to make sure that they reach their academic goals.
Great, great. Well, we actually have a sample of one of those videos. Kristen, do you want to give us a little background on what we might anticipate in this particular video?
Sure. This is an introduction to student life. So I'm talking about all the resources available to students while they're here. Again, you'll notice it's quick to the point. It has an exciting intro and outro, so it makes it visually appealing.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll cut to the video. We'll take a little bit of a break. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about what's happening in student services and some things that our community would want to know. So we'll be right back in just a second.
College isn't just about your studies. Hi, I'm Jeslie, and I want to encourage you to join Student Life at Parkland College. What is Student Life? We're a place where you can develop friendships with other students, grow your leadership skills, and make the most of your college experience so that you're prepared for your future career or transfer to a university or college after Parkland. There's a lot you can participate in our campus through Student Life. You can partake in fun annual events like our Fall Convocation and Spring Cobra Carnival. You can get involved in more than 20 student clubs and organizations from Arts and Design Club to the VETech Club or serve as a senator in Parkland Student Government. Student Life provides weekly activities and educational sessions, a student leadership academy, a student-run newspaper called The Prospectus, and even health and wellness opportunities. We have something for every student to connect with here at Parkland College. Stop by the Office of Student Life in room U111 today to take care of your needs like obtaining off-campus student housing, getting your own student ID, finding out what scholarships or tuition waivers we provide, or starting a new club or joining an active one. Even if you don't have a need, just stop by and say hello and introduce yourself. We want to get to know you better because Student Life is here for you.
Well, welcome back. As we mentioned in the first half of the show, we're with two of our student services deans, and you've just watched one of the new orientation videos for students all about student life. And so, Dean Turner, we wanted to ask you a little bit more about some of those student life opportunities. And I know that in this time of year, sort of April through May, it's a mad dash to the finish, but there's a lot of activities getting ready to take place. So
It most certainly is.
So can you share a little bit about what our students can expect and anticipate for the end of the year and what some of the opportunities are?
Lots of opportunities. Right now, we have student government elections going on, and so I'm urging students to vote. You get to pick our student trustee, who joins our board of trustees in their monthly meetings, our student government president, who helps determine and carry forth the voice of the students. They take actions that students give them and bring them forth. I have a student who came to see me and said, we need more bike racks. I said, oh, I don't do that. I need you to go see student government. That's one of their jobs. And so those are the kind of opportunities, and we're always encouraging students to become a senator so you can help with the programming board and decide how student fee money is spent for clubs and organizations on the campus. We also have the new digital prospectus newspaper that is looking for editors, they're looking for writers, photographers, and the wonderful thing about that is there is a tuition waiver that students who work for the prospectus have access to. So I'm always telling people, you could save 50% on your tuition. You may want to get involved, even if you're not planning to go into journalism. It's a fun activity and great engagement opportunity. Then we also have coming up the carnival. And I also want to remind people before I talk about the fun stuff that is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. That's an important event in terms of increasing awareness and making sure that people know that we support students' awareness and help to those who have been victims. And one of the things we do here is we offer a resource fair, and that is coming up on April 19th.
Okay.
And then April 26th is the fun one, right before finals. We have Cobra Carnival, and that's always great fun. And this
Fill
year,
up your fun tank before you have to
we
focus,
have
right?
a mechanical bull to help you fill that fun
A
tank.
mechanical bull.
A mechanical
Is there a safety waiver?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They have to sign the waiver. For sure, they have to sign that waiver. But it's on an inflatable, so it's not like you're going to fall on the ground.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun, and we have a lot of other games for students, and we invite them to come out from 11 to 1:30, and with their ID, they get free lunch.
Great.
So that's some of the stuff going on before we get to honors, convocation, and commencement.
Yeah. Oh, those fun. Those are the best. Honors
big
convocation
ones.
and commencement.
Absolutely.
But some of these things are so great because I think one of the misperceptions about community college is that there isn't that robust campus life, that vibrancy of a college campus at a community college. And I think just that snapshot really dispels that myth.
Absolutely. One of the myths out there is that, oh, community college, you just go to class and go to work, go home. There's nothing to do. When it is very robust engagement opportunities, including what we call the Student Leadership Academy, So students have an opportunity to go to different clubs and organizations and events across campus and earn credits, and they can actually, if they make it through their first year, get their second year fully paid for with a scholarship.
Oh my gosh.
And what we do for students who complete Leadership Academy, they get a credential on their transcript that says that they completed it. I talk to students all the time about how important that is as they're applying for four-year schools in their letter of interest, or as they're applying for jobs, to be able to show that they have that, what I call, commitment to leadership.
I know that if I were looking at candidates and I saw one was committed to leadership and stuck with something like that, wow, that would really,
It's
really
impressive.
stick out. It would
Yeah.
be very impressive. Well, thank you for all that you do for making sure that our students are staying engaged. Our Student Life Office also coordinates this sort of activity throughout the year, all those activities.
All the activities.
And so what are some of the things, I mean, as we look to the fall, that are always those kind of perennial events to look forward to?
We have the Welcome Back Convocation, the first week of class. We always have the, by that Thursday, we have the Welcome Back Convocation, and we also have a big to-do with that. So there's a chance to tie-dye T-shirts and play games and ride rides and visit all the clubs and organizations, so students have an opportunity to join some of the mini clubs, such as Club Latino. We have the Student New Club. We have revamped and restarted the Muslim Student Association.
Very good.
We have a political science club that is just starting up again, political science / free law, and also Black Student Association. We have Black Student Success Project, and we also have an International Student Association who's very active and has done a lot of wonderful work, our student nurses. And then we also have a lot of activities and support from our Wellness Center. So we have public health coming in so that students can get different testing. They can check out and get their flu vaccines here, as well as faculty and staff. So there's a lot of activity that goes on throughout the semester, and there's always something to do.
That's amazing. Yeah, if you come to Parkland, there's a place for you
There's
and
a
a group
place.
for you.
I always tell students, come to Parkland, find your tribe, find your group, and if you don't find a club organization you like, you can always start a club.
There you go. I love that entrepreneurial mindset. When we were talking about the fall, Kristen, there's lots of ways to look forward to the fall and
right.
perhaps enroll in classes
Yes.
for either summer or fall. So what are some of the enrollment periods that we have coming up? What's open now? What can students take a look at?
Sure. So both summer and fall registration are completely open to new and continuing students. So don't delay on registering. As a reminder, for summer, we have 3 main starts, so May, June, and then later on in July, which is really nice because it's a great sampling of classes in each of those terms. We've put schedules together to meet students' needs and kind of knowing what some of those extra classes you may need in the summer. So definitely check it out. It's a great way to pick up a class or two, maybe to ease the burden a little bit during the fall. For the spring semester, kind of get ahead of the game a little bit. And so, yeah, I would definitely suggest that. And for fall, like I said, fall registration's open. We'll start August 21st for our main session. But what my offices are ramping up for is Enrollment Express.
Oh.
Yes.
Sounds fast.
Sounds fast, right?
Yes.
So Enrollment Express will start May 18th. It takes place every Wednesday and from May 18th through early August. And it's kind of a choose your own adventure type event. So students can come and accomplish as much or as little as they want. We hope it's a lot, but if you don't have time for it, that's okay. It's for both new and continuing students. So even if you're already a Parkland student, you're more than welcome to join us during Enrollment Express. We start the day at 10 o'clock. But we go all the way till 5, and we have sort of a start here table. We'll give you a piece of paper, have your name, put in your ID, and then we'll outline the next steps for you as far as what you have left to do. So for a new student, for example, we may send them down to the assessment center to take placement tests and then have them come back and check in with us. And then they, at that point, may be ready for advising. So then we'll direct them over to advising. And so the nice thing is, it's everywhere students need to go. We're on the second floor of U, so it's centrally located. We also will have orientation as a part of that too. So we'll have a computer lab set up. So if students would like to sit down and do their orientation, we'll remind them that they can do so, as well as tour our Learning Commons, which is a great space for students to see. So again, we may have students with their work schedule that can't be here the whole time. So it's okay to just join us a little bit later in the afternoon and hit us up the next Enrollment Express day. That's perfectly fine. This really works well in conjunction with Walk-in Wednesday, with all the terms here. So Walk-in Wednesday is academic advising's kind of their way where they're way more open to see students, not on appointment based. So if you wake up and you say, I want to go see an advisor, Wednesday is definitely the day to do it. But outside of Enrollment Express and Walk-in Wednesday, we're here Monday through Friday. So any day we can help students and get through that enrollment process. And then once we're done with kind of that Enrollment Express on Wednesdays, we take a little bit of a break, and then the week before classes start, we have it every single day, try and get students through any last minute needs. But you definitely don't want to wait till the last minute. So
yes.
really
Try
key.
Try to plan early, but if you do wake up, even if it's a Monday, you can still come to Parkland and we can get you started. But yes, sometimes the thing about our students, right, is that they may not be sure if they're coming yet. Right? Life may be getting in the way or they may be working, but it's so great to see all of these opportunities for those students to be able to come whenever it's a good time for them to get started. They can get oriented. And so I like that approach toward flexibility. I know that's been a trend in recent years, Kristen.
Yeah, we're trying to reduce as many barriers as we can to the enrollment process. So just looking at it from a lens of what makes sense for students and the changes that we can make. And we've come a long way, I think, over the years. So it's been nice to see.
Yeah, before we wrap up today, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about enrollment. I know that's something that our community really has been interested in because, nationally on the whole, there's been a decline over the last few years. But Parkland is seeing a bit of a bounce back. I think it's safe to say.
I know. We're in really good shape. So going back to last summer, so we were up last summer. We were up again in the fall of 22 and then for the spring of 23. So 3 semesters in a row, which hasn't happened in over a decade. So we're really happy to see that. And then so far, I'm going to knock on something that's maybe wood, but we are up for summer and fall going into those 2 registration periods. So it's exactly what we needed, and we hope that it stays that way. But yeah,
wonderful.
So thank you.
No doubt that's attributable to all the work that your teams are doing. And I know the whole campus is really mobilized around being, how can we serve students and how can we be ready for them? So thank you for all your work on orientation and then welcoming our students to Parkland. So much appreciated.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Well, that's it for today's show of the Parkland Report. We really appreciate you spending some time with us, hearing from our 2 of our student services deans about all of the work that they're doing to welcome students from our community into Parkland College. And we'll see you next time.